If you like big announcements, then this video is for you, because today we have multiple big announcements. One from the Social Security Administration, two from the United States Postal Service, and the third one from the White House, specifically talking about a potential shutdown. And today we're going to talk about, my friend, the watermelon. So we're going to get to that in just a minute, but just understand that there's some big things happening right now. One of those things could impact the food that you eat. For example, my friend right here, the watermelon. So let's get right down to it. Let's talk about what is going on, what is potentially going to impact you, and how you can make it through this. So all I ask is, if you enjoy these daily updates, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, and let's continue. So let's talk about Social Security first. The reason why I want to talk about Social Security is simple. There is one thing that's happening right now, and it has to do with the government. The government, the United States federal government, might not have any additional funding to operate past September 30th, which is this Saturday, in 2 days. Which means the federal government and all the federal agencies are going to have to decide, do they stay open, do they shut down? If you're like the Grand Canyon, you could potentially stay open. Even though you're a national park, the governor is going to pull funds to keep the Grand Canyon open because they know exactly how much money it brings in. But other parks are going to close down. Well, guess what's going to happen to Social Security? The Social Security Administration on October 12th, on October 12th, should get all the information they need from the Consumer Price Index. That's the CPI report. They're going to get all the information they need to be able to tell us and tell all Social Security recipients what the cost of living adjustment for 2024 is going to be. And that was expected to come out the same week. However, there's an issue. Look at this. From Reuters, it says U.S. government shutdown could delay news of Social Security increase. Well, why is this? Because the Social Security Administration, they're not shutting down. Yes, employees will be furloughed, but what you need to understand is where they get their information. Look at this. It says, one of the most highly anticipated announcements watched for each year by more than 70 million U.S. retirees and government benefits recipients could well be delayed by any federal government shutdown lasting more than a few days. That is their annual pay increase, or the cost of living adjustment, also known as COLA. It says, with a partial government shutdown beginning on Sunday looking ever more likely amid an ongoing standoff in Congress, the U.S. Labor Department has advised that all economic data gathering and publishing activities conducted by the Bureau of Labor Statistics would cease for as long as the government remains closed. So, a shutdown that stretches deep into October would threaten the scheduled release of the Consumer Price Index for September, which is currently set for October 12th, 2023. That is the reason why you may not know what the cost of living adjustment is until after the government opens back up. That's a major issue. That is a major, major issue. Now, just understand, it doesn't matter if your cost of living adjustment is announced on October 12th, October 15th, November 18th, December 25th. It will not matter because it doesn't go into effect until January. Or for those of you on SSI, it would actually come out, or SSDI, it comes out in the end of December. So just keep that in mind, that you may not know what the cost of living adjustment is. However, what it is isn't going to change. All right? So just keep that in mind. It's a major announcement that I just want you to be aware of, because it also impacts the Consumer Price Index. We will not know what our inflation numbers are until the government reopens, whenever that may be. As of right now, the government is we still have funding for 2 more days. But on October 1st, that's it. The government would officially shut down. Now, one of the questions I received from countless people, is very simple. Okay, if the federal government shuts down, what about my mail? What about all the mail I receive in the mailbox? Am I still going to receive it? And the answer is pretty simple. Yes. As far as what you need to understand right now is the United States Postal Service is one way you can receive mail. You can receive mail from UPS. You can receive mail from FedEx, DHL, whatever, right? Now, what you need to understand about the United States Postal Service is that this is even though it's part of the federal agency, this is one that is self-funded. The United States Postal Service doesn't really operate using taxpayer dollars. The way the United States Postal Service operates, and yes, it does get some money from taxpayers, but it's not on a yearly basis. So because of that, the United States Postal Service relies on sales of mail, right, of stamps, of postage. That's how they operate. So because of that, the United States Postal Service is going to continue to stay open. So you do not have to worry if you are a mail carrier or you just want to make sure you get your mail on time. Don't worry, it's still coming. If you receive your checks this way, you will still get your checks. So good news there. Now, here's a big one, and I want to address what is happening here because this does impact all the food that we consume. One of the things that's going to happen, and this is why I bring out my friend right here, this watermelon. I don't even know if it's good. Don't really know how to check it. But anyway, this watermelon right here. One of the issues we're about to face is if the United States government shuts down, one of the things that's going to happen is hundreds of thousands of people are going to be furloughed. Okay? One of the agencies that is going to be impacted is the FDA. Okay? The Food and Drug Administration. One thing I can tell you is that what has happened in the past, and we've seen it multiple times, is when in the previous shutdowns, we've seen inspections. They've pretty much come to a halt. As far as power plants and water treatment centers, the inspections have pretty much stopped. It's a huge issue. Well, regarding fruit, regarding vegetables, regarding meat, right, things like that, the seafood, the problem is the food safety inspections are going to change. This is going to put more pressure on the grocery stores, on the restaurants, to ensure that the food that you are buying is good, because we're not going to have the inspections. We're not going to have the safety reports. We're not going to have any of that stuff happening during a federal government shutdown. Okay? So when it comes to the FDA, if you're going to buy this from your grocery store, just understand it may not have gone through all the inspections that it normally does. And maybe you bought this from a farmer's market and they don't go through all those inspections. I get it. But just understand the food that you are about to consume, whether it's bought from a grocery store or bought from somewhere else, the guy in the alley in the van, doesn't matter. Where you buy it does not matter. What matters is understand that this food, okay, that you are about to consume may not have gone through any inspection whatsoever. Okay? Because if the government is shut down, that means the FDA is going to halt inspections. All right? So I just wanted to fill you in on that because I know I got a lot of questions from people. One of the persons asked me, is it possible that we see something like the FDA stay open? Is it possible that we see other agencies, parks stay open? And the answer is yes, it is possible. But the most likely outcome is people that work for the FDA, these inspectors, they're going to be furloughed. Some aren't going to do anything. Others are going to continue to do their job, but they're not get paid. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. One thing I can tell you is there's a lot of big things happening this weekend. So we're going to see exactly what happens. I'll keep you updated on everything that's going on. Again, it's only Thursday. We still got Friday. We still got Saturday. Sunday is when things really change. Could the government shut down? Possibly. Are we going to see people start making their student loan payments? Possibly. But we're going to find all that out very soon. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. And please, if you want to, no pressure, go ahead and hit that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.